Did we start so I can do the intro
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
No, so we're live or whatever.
Recording.
Okay. Hi, welcome to our list of the best and worst movies of 2021. We say best and worst, but we really just mean our favorites, least favorites,
Yeah.
which is exactly how I'm ranking them, by the way.
Uh, I guess would be the same here. I just cut myself on what?
He's bleeding excessively. We gotta go. We gotta stop the video and get him to hospital.
Well, definitely not, but I just want to know how.
To hospital. If you don't know, it's probably worse. It could be poisonous.
Well, it was my chair.
Oh, a poisonous chair. I see.
Oh, I'm starting to feel.
Mm. Gabe, what happened?
Squid Games! Squid Games! Alright. Well, I do have a small format for this. I think we'll do worst first, and then we'll
Oh,
do our best last.
okay
Actually,
then.
have it set up. It'll go my worst, then your worst, then your best, then my best.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we do have some honorable and dishonorable mentions. The honorable and dishonorable mentions will go before the list, and we will be going from 10 to 1.
Ah,
So, I guess to kick it off, I'll do my worst.
naturally. I mean, what list starts out with a number one and then skips to the worst of the best? Doesn't make any sense, now does it?
Yeah.
Number one, this one. Number 10, this one. What the fuck?
So, yeah, 10 to 1 is where we'll go. So, yeah. And then, so my dishonorable mentions are Mortal Kombat, Dune, Last Night in Soho, and Snake Eyes. Um, None of these movies I hated, but
Mm.
none of them, I think, for me, the dishonorable mentions were kind of meant for movies that truly disappointed me. Like, for me, these were the most disappointing movies of the year. Like, no doubt.
Uh, all right.
Like, yeah, this is, like, these were the movies if anything, I had hope for. But at the end of the day, did not.
you had you had hope for Snake Eyes.
I did false hope, but it is what it is, I guess. And yeah, I guess we'll get into my list, starting with my number 10 film, which, as you can see, is Malignant.
Mm.
This is, I have to admit, a very unfair pick because I love this movie.
I was gonna say this is your worst, so this could have totally been growing your best just by the fact that you enjoyed it a lot,
Yeah, I
even
enjoyed it a
honorable.
lot, but unfortunately, it is a awful movie. I like it for all the wrong reasons. Um, but I do recommend everyone watch it
But that brings up the
thoroughly.
question. There's discussion about it having been purposely bad, so technically you'd be liking it for the right reasons if that was
If
the
it's
case.
purposely bad, it's still bad.
Of course.
So I can't really cut them too much slack, I guess, for that. But yeah, it is what it is. I enjoy it a lot. I will watch it again, definitely. But it is still a very very bad movie. And coming in at number 9, I have Tom and Jerry,
Ah,
a movie that, just by all accounts, is just very bad. It's the only positives you can take from it are the slapstick. Like, really, what else are you gonna take from this movie?
it's a fucking Tom and Jerry movie. What is it really? What are you else
Literally,
are you gonna
what
say?
else? I really have nothing else to say. But I do have stuff to say about my number 8 film, Sweet Girl.
Oh, funny thing about this one, my mom fucking told me this movie was good. I didn't watch it because it's a Netflix movie, so I don't believe her.
Yeah.
And it came out on August 20th. Nothing good comes out on August 20th, my birthday. So
Well, I mean, for me, I have my birthday's in January, so
yeah,
I get
the
very
good
unlucky
stuff comes out in January.
sometimes. But January was always the dumb month. But anyway, Sweet Girl, a pointless action film that has a third act reveal that actually ruins the rest of the movie that was already really bad.
It wasn't bad enough, huh?
It wasn't bad enough, and so they had to make it worse. The only positive you can get out of this is Jason Momoa. He's
Wow.
really good in it. That is literally it. The action is awful. Just it's shot too close and too shaky, and they cut too much. It's ugh. Ugh.
So this is, oh wait, this is just the Last of Us series. That's the movie.
You know, I was kind of thinking about that, but it's not post-apocalyptic. So
What is it then?
modern day.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, Last of Us is modern day.
Uh,
Modern day post-apocalypse.
anyway, my number 7 film would be Locked Down. I mean,
Ooh.
did anybody watch this?
Excuse me.
Just like as a question, who watched
No,
this?
but as of people that did watch this movie, we can say that it's not very good.
It took us 2 days to watch this
It did.
because it was just so painful. But yeah, uh, really nothing much good about this movie. But I disliked 6 other movies worth less than this, and that takes me into my number 6, which, as you can guess, is Injustice.
Ooh.
If you saw our film section mini, which was part of our podcast that we did a little while back, I encourage you to check it out. We talk way more about it in more detail. You, I'm sure you
This
have.
is the worst DC animated movie of all fucking time.
I don't know about all time because I just haven't seen the other ones.
Well,
But
I've seen most of them, so for me, it is the worst.
this
The
is the
adaptation,
worst one I've seen.
literally as an adaptation, and
Oh God,
as
don't
its
even
own
get me
thing,
started.
and as its own thing, it is just abysmal. It has nothing right.
Nothing right.
There's maybe like a few things that are there for like 2 seconds,
Yeah,
and you'll miss them.
maybe like the first 2 minutes.
Just putting it lightly,
The
I
first
think.
2 minutes, and then after the 3 minute mark, actually no, the first 5 minutes are like okay, and then you get into the 6 minute mark where something specific happens, and then
The thing you're saying like the first 5 minutes, but like the first 5 minutes are really superficial and surface level. Like, yeah, of course, this is stuff you should get this right. If you don't, you're dumb. And it's like, yeah,
and then they hit 6 minutes in, and then it just went downhill from there. The only thing I could
Mm.
say, like, to be nice, was that the voice acting was fine. That is the bare minimum nice thing I could say about this.
yeah.
And as an Injustice fan, this movie pisses me off even more on a very different level.
Here's the thing. I don't even think the voice acting should be fine. This is a movie. It's Superman's like most, you
Famous
know,
story as of recent.
I wasn't gonna say famous story.
As
His
of
like one of
recent.
his. I was gonna say his most well, as of recent wouldn't have been All Star Superman. That was like no, that was old.
No,
That's
All Star
older.
Superman's
Never mind.
old, yeah.
Yeah.
Injustice would be
But
his most like recent, well-known story.
we
This is
we
such
don't
a
follow many comics. I
no, we
don't
don't.
know if we should judge that.
But
But
this
I
is
was
like
gonna
the
say
most
it's
like rich, like this is like for an actor. This is like a rich role to take.
yeah.
That Superman in particular is such an interesting character, probably for an actor. And then you watch the movie, but yeah, safe to say I really hated this movie. I think actually from 6 on we get into movies I truly hate, except for two.
Ooh.
Two
Except
for two, where I'm like I acknowledge how bad they are, but I have no malice towards them from here. But for most here on out, I have true hate in my heart for these movies.
mm.
And that takes me into my number 5, which would be Reminiscence.
Oh, you were excited for this one.
I really was. I like a high concept sci fi film, and I love Hugh Jackman.
It looks just like Inception. Oh my god. It should be good, right? Oh
And
no. And
I
look,
remember,
August 20th as well. Oh my god.
yeah, and I have to admit, the good thing about the movie is that the world is really cool and it's pretty well thought out, and it would make a really cool TV show. That's it. Oh, and Hugh
Uh,
Jackman gives maybe one of his best performances ever, which is really unfortunate because it could have been in a better movie.
well, every time he is in a movie, he always does his best.
He's doing his
He
best,
always
but in
pops.
this movie in particular, it feels like he put in the extra work.
He always pops off.
Yeah, this movie's slow, dull, boring, tiresome, bland, like every word for I could possibly say. The movie's a snoozer. And what other awful sin could you commit than bore me in a movie, right?
Waste your time.
Waste my time. That's exactly what Ernest did. And if we're going into number 4, that would be Halloween Kills. If you saw our film section on this, you know just how much this movie pissed me off. And the too long didn't read version or too long didn't watch version would be every decision made was the wrong one.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe better if it was the extended cut.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck off.
oh, more kills. W- More
And
something.
knowing me, I'll probably check that extended cut out.
Uh,
Just like whatever to see what they changed, right? What they added. I think it's like a whole minute.
really.
I think it's literally a whole minute longer.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
yeah, it's not much of an extended cut now, isn't it? Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Release the other cut.
Yeah, release the good movie. Oh wait,
It doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist because this movie's awful. And look at that, another awful movie, Those Who Wish Me Dead. Um Again, another movie that just wasted my time where every choice made was the wrong one.
Brr, brr.
And
Bad
look
movie.
at that. Another waste of a good actor, Angelina Jolie.
Well, no, there was a few good actors in this movie.
Yeah, they've been in schlock. But like Angelina Jolie was really good in this. And that's it. Like, I watched this with my dad. My dad's pretty forgiving to some movies. Like he likes a lot of movies. Even this movie he was like completely unenthused.
Hey, same with my dad. He wasn't impressed with this fucking
Yeah,
movie.
he just we finished it together and he was like, I feel like I just wasted my time and I was like, yeah, me too.
You see it in theaters?
No, HBO Max.
Oh, that's not
Yeah,
in theaters.
you extra wasted your time. You wasted your time and your money.
Yeah.
But all I did was waste my time.
It was either that or Army of Darkness. Army of the Dead. Fuck.
That was playing in your theater?
Yeah.
I would have saw Army of the Dead at that point, dude.
Well, it was on Netflix, and I didn't have HBO Max at the time.
Yeah, true. 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 But in
Yeah,
hindsight, right?
in hindsight.
Yeah. Anyway, to the number 2, Resident Evil.
Hmm.
Welcome to Raccoon City. I had
Well,
a
how about that?
I yeah, this movie's really really bad and I I have to be honest and there's nothing good about this movie.
No, not at all.
There really isn't. And just on that prime level, it earns the spot on my list. But the reason why this is number 2 and not number 1 is because number 1 would be Chaos Walking. Truly, like for me, it was basically a coin flip between Chaos Walking and Resident Evil. It could have gone to either one, and I went with Chaos Walking. Because at the end of the day, Resident Evil was an hour and a half, and it flew by, at least for me. Chaos
You have
Walking,
fun.
I had fun. Chaos Walking, I also had fun, maybe even too much fun. This movie was a slog to get through.
Oh boy, was it.
Yeah, oh boy, was it. and I hate it for that. Well, I don't hate it, but it's awful. They called it unreleasable, and they sure did release it. And they probably should have kept it in the vaults.
It should have stayed that way, you
It
fool.
probably should have stayed that way. But that would be my worst list, and you know what that means, right? I think
It's
I think that might be your turn now.
I suppose it is. Yes, yes, yes,
But
yes, yes,
one
yes.
moment. Okay. I'm just taking a quick timestamp. I'm actually going to throw up your dishonorable mentions on the screen while I take my timestamp.
Should I start now?
Yeah, go for it. Just do your
All
give me
right.
your dishonorable mentions.
Hmm. All right. These are my honorable mentions: Injustice, Tom and Jerry, Halloween Kills, and Let There Be Carnage. So, Injustice, like I said, it is basically the worst animated film in DC's catalog that I've ever seen in my life, and I think it just is the worst. Like I said, during his tantrum for the movie, it does nothing good, and maybe like two things of 2 seconds that are good. Um, the reason why I didn't quite really put it in my list is because I'm not as passionate about Injustice as he is. I played only a little bit of the games. I've skimmed through the comics only slightly, and I only really ever got into Injustice after the second game came out, and that's when I really started caring. But not as much as him. So for that, I can't bring myself to have a terrible passion and hate for the film, even though I am a super DC fan. You know, Superman and Batman are like my superheroes' favorite superheroes of all time. So yeah, it's still just a shame how bad this movie was, considering. Well, first of all, I knew it was going to be a bad movie based on just my experience with knowing these things about DC films lately, where I think they're just all really bad. No comment on Halloween though. I haven't seen that,
Hmm.
but yeah.
Keeping my mouth shut.
So Tom and Jerry. See, I am a pretty good Tom and Jerry fan. I've watched the shows when the show itself or the mini versions of it when I was just a small boy. I even saw some of the few movies that they released. The one where they were in a race was very funny.
Oh, the Fast and the Furious or something like that, or the Furious.
I, I don't know what it was.
It was some pun like
It,
that. Yeah.
they had like a lot of gimmicky characters in that film. One of them was like this demonic knight that was there to put his tongue out onto a frozen pole in the North Pole, and it got stuck, and he just lost a fucking race. It was really funny.
Hmm.
Mm. But yeah, Tom and Jerry. The best thing I can say about the movie is that it has some so slapstick humor. You know, typical Tom and Jerry. But I don't know. I don't think it's the fact that it's aged badly that Tom and Jerry humor just doesn't fit with today's day and age. Because I
It
can look back at
does.
some of hmm?
It does.
Yeah,
That humor does
exactly.
still
Because
work today.
yeah, because I can look back at some of the older shows clips and see and laugh my ass off because it's funny. But not all of it landed in here for some reason. And I don't know if it's because people who made this movie had no idea what makes Tom and Yuri funny or appealing to kids or adults even. But yeah, not all of it was great, and I don't think the movie's great at all. But there it is.
Yeah.
I like Kills. Oh boy. So me, I don't hate this movie, believe it or not. I actually had a fun time watching it twice. Um, one alone and one with some friends. Um, I like the kills in the movie, although a few of them are a bit underwhelming. The music was great,
Yeah, the music is great. I forgot to mention that's like the reason it is not a 0 for me.
but issue being that despite it being great, it doesn't really complement the scenes at all. It
No.
doesn't make the scenes
But
better.
on its own, it's still like incredible music.
I mean, I'm not sure I would even hear it on my own,
I
to be
have
fair.
I've heard it on my own. Yeah.
Mm,
It's got some good tracks.
that's um, but the reason why I don't hate this movie is because of one certain scene that made me bust my ass laughing.
Is it the door?
It's the door.
It's the door.
It's the fucking
I'm
door.
not
It
gonna
is
lie,
so good.
I also busted my ass laughing, but I also was just like, oh come on.
It is absolutely the funniest scene in the fucking movie, and I kind of love it for that. So
Yeah.
that's why it's here.
It gave people what
Let
they asked for.
what's that?
Kills.
Oh, sure. It has, if you're into that,
It's literally called Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills.
But yeah.
Let there be carnage. Well, the first movie wasn't good. This one isn't really any better. I don't know if people thought it was gonna be better, but there it is. Let there be carnage is dumpster fire, but it's a fun dumpster fire, especially if you know watch it with someone else.
Hmm.
Um,
We had a good time
the
watching it together, at least.
yeah, the credits scene shocked me,
Yeah.
and it really fit with what we got afterwards. No comment, no comment.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Venom 3.
Like
Whenever
unironically.
ironically, I cannot wait.
Yeah. All right.
Just honorable
And why
mentions.
are these in your dishonorable as opposed to not?
Why I didn't hate all of
Mm,
them.
yeah. All right. Well.
I even had fun with some of them,
Yeah. Well.
excluding fucking DC one.
Yeah. Well. I guess that's time. Does that mean we get right into it?
We go right into the fucking shit movies.
All right. So we go right into your number 10, which would
Number
be
10, the Snyder Cut. Man, I'm sorry, people, but this is literally just the Whedon cut, but longer and worse. And you know what? I'm gonna say it right now. The cringe humor was probably just taken out because people reacted badly to it, and Snyder already had it in there. I'll say, even though maybe some of Whedon's jokes were just his own jokes, he had it in his own cut. But man, no, no, what's just on the room just really bored, and it probably didn't need to be 4 hours long. In fact, no, probably it didn't need to be 4 hours long. You could probably cut it
four and a half hours long, sir.
4.5 hours, really?
I think it's four and a half.
Oh my god.
Could be very
It
wrong on
spends
that.
probably, but I don't want to find out again. It's just a lot to
Four
go
hour.
in.
It's 4 hours 2 minutes. Yep.
Okay, okay, okay,
It's
okay.
barely 4 hours, but yeah,
That's a,
it's there.
that's a little better to hear. But man, I can understand why people like this movie. But if we keep like if we keep pushing this thing where director's vision has to be pushed, we got to do that to everybody. And I don't think people are going to do that for everybody. So I don't
Mm.
understand why Snyder gets a break for it. Well,
It's because of the situation he was in when he was taken off the project.
I can understand
After
that.
he left the project and what they did to
That
the
I can
movie.
understand, but I don't think that's sufficient. His fans want that. He has one of the most insane fans of all time. Any like of any movie director's history, he
Yeah.
has a cult following him.
Well, sometimes it
Yeah,
happens, you know.
I didn't enjoy
David
this
Fincher
movie.
has his fans, you know.
Mhm.
Sam Raimi's got his like
Granted,
stands that will support him.
there might be some good things in this movie that I can recall, but as it stands, it is probably the most overrated film that I've seen this
Honestly,
year.
I would have expected this to be higher up on your list.
Sure, but I don't hate it. I just hate what it does,
Mm.
what it can mean. Like we're gonna
You're
get
just
a
apathetic to it.
I am. We're gonna get. We're probably gonna get an air cut because of this fucking thing. So
I don't even know about that haircut, man. I mean, I'll watch it if they do it, but
sure, I'll
at
watch
least
it.
to this, there was like at least some like it might make the movie better. Where the haircut, it's like no, you're not saving that. You're not
Mm,
saving that. But yeah, I guess that is that all for that. Get into your next one.
that's really all. Yeah.
All right, your
What's
number
the next one?
9.
Number 9, No Time to Die. So I am a pretty decent James Bond fan. I liked only two of the Daniel Craig films because I only saw like four of them.
Yeah, you still haven't seen Quantum, huh?
Why the fuck would I?
Uh, Dude, if you saw Quantum, it'd be your number one of worst movie of 2021.
Shit,
It's
maybe.
really bad.
Shit, maybe. Also, I kind of don't believe you based on what number one is.
That's true. Actually, you know what? Nah, yeah. But anyway,
Foolish statement. Um, No Time to Die is very interesting in some ways because few people. I'm saying you two because this isn't calling you anything, but you know how they go to this up and down with they release a good movie one time, afterwards bad, then good, then bad, and we thought some people thought this was gonna be the good one after Spectre, right?
I assumed so.
Yeah,
I had
it was
hope.
gonna be the you had hope.
Well, also for the record, I
Unfortunately,
don't dislike this movie. I think it's just okay.
yeah, I don't think it's very good. I think it's a very flawed film,
Definitely.
based on its writing, characters, and just the history
Uh, go
Bond and what it does to Bond and what it might do to Bond in the future.
go watch our film sections, our film section that we did on this right when he first saw it. If you
Hmm.
want to hear his full thoughts,
Yeah,
it's a very good video. I recommend it.
thank you. Very good video too to you.
Well, I mean, it was the only one out of all these where I think we both kind of sat, we expressed our thoughts, and we went, okay. That and Dune was our most like, yeah,
Yeah,
we don't disagree, we don't agree, but it's okay. But No Time to Die was definitely not the same as Dune, to be fair.
it has fun, okay action. I'll give it that. Some enjoyable stuff. No Time to Die, but
It's also bloated
not.
as hell.
It does. I wouldn't really call it a good send off. I actually no, I wouldn't at all call it a good send off for Daniel Craig's Bond.
Yeah,
So, unfortunate, but let's see what happens in the future with Bond.
yeah, my grandmother hated the ending.
Because
Hated the ending.
he died.
Yeah, she didn't like
I'm
that.
sure. I'm sure she liked it at least, right?
She liked the movie, but she didn't like the ending at all.
Mm.
But that's
Oh well.
grandmothers. Anything that's sad. All right,
All right.
and up to you when you're done.
Number 8, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This this apparent triumph, this revolutionary film. I saw it. I wasn't impressed. Granted, the praise it's getting is not as abysmal or as annoying to hear as Black Panther's first praise, or people calling it the best film of all time. Oh my god, how come it didn't get 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? What the fuck is this? Racism? Oh my god. Yeah, yeah. The media backlash and one that isn't as bad as that, but I even say that that Black Panther is a little better than this film. Granted, I don't hate this film. I don't. Um, but I don't believe it is a good step for the MCU, where a director doesn't quite follow up with what happened in the past and just does their own thing as their own bloated history, complicated history that basically just changes the whole world of the MCU. And then you got your complications, your contradictions, your writing flaws, plot holes, and whatnot. And the characters, people find a lot of them interesting. People find Simu Liu, no, what's the
Oh, Wenwu.
Wenwu's? Yeah, people find Wenwu as one of the best villains in the MCU. I can't say I agree. I think he's a incredibly flawed villain with weak motivations. Actually, the motivations aren't weak. Just what he does with them is the real issue. And wow, the Shang-Chi character is a cookie cutter, might I say. There's potential in him, but
He's an anime
they
puppy
just turn
dog.
I'll say that because they turn him into this jokey character, even though there's like something there that can like bring in something great, but he's really bland, cookie cutter version of try hard badass. It's unfortunate too, because Shang-Chi, the concept alone looks pretty interesting.
There's a lot of potential for what they could do later on with the
There's
character.
potential. This movie is literally just lost potential. lots of it.
Hey, and they're gonna get their sequel, so we'll see what they do with the next one. Maybe they'll improve.
Maybe.
I mean, we've had some weak starts before in the MCU, so
Mm.
there's always room for improvement.
I mean, Thor was a weak start.
Or Captain Marvel had a weak start. Uh,
Um, Hulk had a weak start.
Hulk, but we're never gonna do that again.
Uh,
Ant Man
mm,
arguably had a weak start, depending on who you talk to. There's a lot of people that don't like Ant Man.
I'd say they had
There's
a
a
very,
lot of people that don't like Ant Man.
I'd say it had a very
Middling.
middling, uninteresting start
Yeah.
to it. Nothing interesting that's gonna really make you say, "Oh, I want another Ant-Man."
Yeah. Well,
And I
unless you
know
were
I don't
me.
really want.
Unless you were me.
Yeah, sure. Let's see for you.
Who really liked the
And
first Ant Man?
no, I really don't want another Shang-Chi.
I do.
Okay, for this character at all.
I don't
But
mind another one.
but it made money, so the fuck do I know?
Well,
Moving on.
it's your number 7?
Number 7, Those Who Wish Me
This
Dead.
confused me considering we both agreed on this one.
Yeah, but this list is based on how much I like the movie, believe it or not.
Okay.
Not this is much of my objective take on them. This is literally how much I like them. Those Who Wish Me Dead is a very, 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 very bad movie that does nothing interesting. Nothing that's gonna impress anybody.
It's a thriller with no thrills.
No thriller. There's no thrill. It is immensely boring. There, it is an illogical film. Nothing makes sense. The villains are probably some of the dumbest villains I've ever seen in a movie ever in my life. They don't make any good decisions for being established special forces guys, or whatever the fuck it is.
Whatever they were.
Whatever they were. It's,
Because
you know, yeah,
bland.
bland, uninteresting. Yes. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this film. There's really not much to talk about with this film.
There really isn't.
It's also it's probably really insulting to the viewer. You know, they're
Maybe.
like, are you dumb? Well, was this also a dumb movie? Roll with it. No, I don't want to.
Well,
But yeah,
hmm.
moving on, I guess
Okay.
to number 6, Snake Eyes. Yeah, this movie's really shit, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I had no hope for this movie from the beginning because I think I'm kind of just too conditioned to way things will go with I guess characters like this and Snake Eye and the Cobra Kai, the fuck, GI Joe has never really had a good track record with movies, and I did not
It really
believe
hasn't.
this is gonna be a good start for them. And I gotta say, I have no idea why people thought it was gonna be a good start. I never did. Even like with the trailers, people seeing the Snake Eye suit, I'm like, I still don't know, guys. Oh man, I sure hope that you guys were with the suit reveal for however
The
long it
last
was in
scene of
that
the
movie.
movie.
The last scene of the movie, which is like what, 30 seconds.
Something like that.
Nice
Well,
guys,
this is the one.
nailed it.
Every year there's a movie where everyone wisens up and doesn't show up. This was the one.
This is the one. No
This was
one's
the
fucking shut
one
up this
that,
film.
like, word of mouth was so bad nobody showed up.
Also, I almost fell asleep with this movie.
Hmm? You did almost fall asleep.
Generally, I was man, it was a snooze fest.
Yeah.
The
So
action wasn't
boring.
great.
Wasn't
Like
great. That's being kind. Like
it wasn't great because I
I
thought every
like
scene was.
I said I said Sweet Girl's action was awful. This movie has worse action than Sweet Girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, because I think like every scene with Storm Shadow is pretty good. It's probably just the actor who
Yeah,
like,
the guy who plays him, Andrew
yeah,
Koji,
Andrew Koji,
doing
like
him.
he's
He's
great
doing the best he
in
can
the
do.
film. It's the only good part of the film, and I think every aspect, everything he does is just really good. I mean,
I
except
liked the
when
Barry dress.
they make him into a fucking idiot. Other than that,
Yeah,
Jesus.
I liked the
Also,
Baroness.
I want to correct my Cobra Kai mistake. I just saw season 4. It was amazing. So
There you
there's
go.
that. Watch Cobra Kai season 4, or just watch Cobra Kai. There you go.
A lot of people have been watching Cobra Kai, so
Fuck yeah, so should.
it's a very
What a
popular
good
it's
way.
a very popular show.
What a good way to kick off my year.
Yeah.
Next, on to the top 5.
Oh boy,
Army of the Dead.
I'm seeing a pattern.
Yeah, no, guys, I don't like Snyder films. I think he's bad at his job. I only like one movie of his. It's 300, but I haven't seen it in a while. Right. So this movie, I hate it. Reasons being glad. It is such a good fucking concept that it was done terribly. The concept of having a casino heist in a zombie infested Las Vegas. Man, how do you how do you make that so boring?
You make it 2.5
It,
hours.
you do, and you like add these, and you add like the most interesting characters that you can find, and basically do a really bad aliens ripoff. That's basically what it is. A really bad aliens ripoff. Think about it. You got your corporate guy who sends a team of, apparently, like good, well-able soldiers who have one of them who has experience with the zombies. Um, you send in a sleazebag suit guy who has other motives onto what he's gonna do with the research so they can make a lot of money in the future. Oh boy. And then he gets a terrible, awful death because of the zombies slash aliens. Meanwhile, you have the main character do a fucking rescue mission to his daughter-like figure. I, you're seeing a fucking pattern here, man. God
In this
damn, you
case, it was
would,
his actual daughter.
yeah. I believe the fucking way more in aliens rather than here. But I guess I can give some credit to the acting, mainly Batista. He's come a long way.
He really has.
Yeah, he really has. Watching him wrestle back in the day, and now seeing him in movies like
You know,
this. Well,
being the main star of big movies.
yeah. But yeah,
You know,
if this was like in,
I think he's a better actor than The Rock ever can dream to be. So
I don't know about that,
that's a hot
but
take, apparently, according to you. But
I never said it was a hot take.
I
I just don't agree with
I think
it.
Batista has more range.
Sure, but you say it as a way to insult The Rock. Damn, you don't like The Rock, I guess.
I like The Rock. I just, I like him when he does different stuff.
Good luck with that.
I know, right?
He's making way too much money to do something else
To do
differently.
anything different, yeah.
Which is saying, I think The Rock can do different stuff. I like he has some different stuff. He's just,
It's so few and far between.
or more like, well, we need to do that now. You know,
Can you just do?
he's making he's making so much money being himself.
Yeah, I guess.
But I feel like in the hands of anybody else, this would have been a really good movie. But Zack Snyder doesn't know how to fucking write a movie. I don't know how to say this. I don't sound like a dick, but that's just how it is.
Well, we're on the worst section, so we're allowed to be assholes.
Mm. Yeah, it was really bad, guys. So
We got four more.
a lot of
Four more.
well, more. Oh, I could be worse than this.
Well,
We'll find out with Chaos Walking. So, Chaos Walking is basically like the second worst movie I've seen this year. It does nothing good at all, and not like there's literally nothing good about this movie, guys. It's a dumpster fire. Like even the acting is fucking lame, considering it's fucking Tom Holland and other people whose name I forget. I
Daisy
noticed, but I didn't
Ridley,
mention.
Mads
Yeah,
Mikkelsen.
no, I didn't forget to read this name.
Oh,
I did that on purpose. You see.
I see.
Yeah. See, I don't dislike Daisy Ridley. I just think she's a pretty mediocre actress. She doesn't have to be. I think there's potential with her.
Just
Um,
please put her.
maybe
Just please put her in better movies.
yeah, just put her in something good, and you might
I mean,
surprise us.
to be fair, I haven't seen Murder on the Orient Express, and I also haven't seen Only Yesterday, so I
Oh,
don't
you know
know.
what? She was pretty good in 12 Minutes.
Oh yeah, I forgot she's in that.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I haven't played that game,
And
but
I
I've seen
haven't
stuff.
seen the
So
movie Ophelia that she's in, but I hear it's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
you were
movie's
saying,
actually
yeah.
kind of this movie's actually pretty frustrating too. Like some of the decisions the characters make in the movie, and like a lot of plot holes,
Mhm.
and it's just
Things that just don't make sense.
nothing makes sense in this movie. So I can't say things. Nothing fucking makes sense.
Nothing.
Yeah, no, it's an awful film. Like if this was like their first movie, I just don't fucking think they'd be acting anymore.
Yeah, if this was the first movie they ever were, but they both have had successful franchises before it.
hmm
Tom Holland is gonna have a lengthy career after this.
And this must have been an easy fucking picture for both of them. They just needed money.
They just need the money. And Daisy Ridley apparently has not been getting any
Wait, well, you
work
know what?
since Star Wars,
Yeah,
which is unfortunate. But
yeah.
and she's in Peter Rabbit, both of them.
She is.
She's in both of them. Yeah, she does a voice.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, she is. Fuck
Margot
yeah, she,
Robbie's in
she is in
those
Peter
too.
Rabbit.
She's
Yeah,
not a
I
bad
remember now.
she's not a bad voice actress.
I don't know. I just remember that. Yeah, I don't like Peter Rabbit, the first one, but I do like just the over exaggerated British slang that Disney really brings into the film.
Yeah.
I think she's pretty great in it. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
Close your fucking mouth.
shows how little you have to talk about Chaos Walking.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, her mouth, she never closes it again. Man,
Okay,
even in the poster.
do not make this a Daisy Ridley rant.
No, just close your mouth, please. Even in the poster. Moving on, number 3. Clock Down. I hate this film. I hate it so much. Uh, to express how much I hate this film, it's gotta come down to the things that I hate most happen to me when I'm watching the film. Being bored, having my time wasted. This film was a fucking waste of time, and it's really boring. And like you said, it took us like 2 fucking times to watch this film. I didn't wanna do it the second time because it was so bad, and I was thinking, "Oh, please make the end at least worthwhile." This is apparently a heist movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure was.
there it was. It just says it maybe heist has been a good year for
Man, I'm
heist
just now
movies.
realizing both this and Chaos Walking had the same director.
Yeah.
What the
Fuck happened to him?
fuck,
What happened to him? He made
man?
Born.
And
He made
Edge
the
of
first
Tomorrow.
Born. And If Tomorrow. What else?
Doug Lyman? No, I don't think he made the firstborn. I thought that was all Paul Greengrass.
No, I'm pretty sure Doug Liman made the first Born. I'm pretty sure. Born
We'll have to
Identity.
double check that, but I know he did Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, acting's good. There's really little in the characters film, honestly. Only
yeah.
good thing about it is the acting between Anne Hathaway and
Chiwetel
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Ejiofor.
Ejiofor. He has a hard name. Um, I liked him in Children of Men. Make the movies again. Uh, he's gonna be in Doctor
Doctor.
Strange too.
Yeah, he was in the first one as well. He was good in that,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's back. He's got
So,
dreadlocks now,
mm,
and he's the villain.
mm. See, yeah, Doug Liman did direct the first Born movie.
Oh, he did. Okay,
Yeah,
thought they were all
yeah. Just
they all have like the same flavoring. So I thought they were all
well,
Paul Greengrass.
they were that's just the best trilogy of action you'll find. So yeah. Did
Okay,
he make Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
probably yeah.
I like that one. Number 2.
Oh boy, I wonder what.
Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City is the worst film I've seen all year and in decades, mind you. As a fan of the games, it is specifically an insult to me and to itself. if I can give the Paul W.S. Anderson films credit for anything, is that they have nothing to do with the video games at all. So I am neither being insulted as a fan or as a moviegoer. I'm just having a good old fun time with the ridiculous action and dumb characters. Just everything dumb about those films. This film is just really dumb, and the characters are really bad, and the action is not a fucking thing in this movie. They focus more on being a grand film, but instead they focus instead I feel like they focus on just having a schlock. Nothing.
Yeah, there's
It's
nothing
so
to
bad.
it. It's so bad.
Goddamn. Nothing makes sense. Even the makeup was mediocre for a fucking zombie film.
Yeah.
God damn, it was made on a budget of $5.
Also, I mean,
Made
even
like
if you start thinking about it, like, why does the clicker show? Not the click. Why does the liquor show up?
I don't
Why does
know.
it show up?
Because it's in the game, bro.
That's right.
Understand?
You're right.
It's in the
You're
game.
right.
Right, right,
You're
right.
right.
It was a really bad idea just to combine both the first game and second game into one film.
Yeah,
Like,
that was the dumbest I and it. I remember we were watching it as soon as like the flash, they flashed the thing 11 like 6:59. I was like, this is how they're gonna do it, huh?
mhm.
This is how they're gonna
like,
combine Resident Evil 1 and 2.
I'm sorry. If you're gonna do that, you have to make the movie a little bit longer. Probably
This movie was
two
only an
and a.
hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like they actually could have used another half an hour, but I'm glad they didn't.
I'm glad they didn't. I would have fucking died. Guys, I was miserable watching this film.
Yeah.
I've never felt so well, that's a lie, but I felt really, really drained watching this film. Every scene that went by, every time a character talked, my life just drained out of me. Movie was sucking up my life and money. I felt cheated. My time was wasted. My money was wasted. I was so sad watching this movie, guys. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I had no hope for it. In fact, I predicted it was gonna be fucking worse than the W.S. Anderson films, and it was. It was so much worse.
There's
God,
one movie you hated more.
it is. Yeah, even if this was the worst film I've seen all year, there are just movies that I hated so much more,
Surprise,
and that
surprise.
leads me to Black Widow. I really like Black Widow as a character. Every film she's in, she's great. Even the bad ones, I believe. She's gone through such a great journey throughout all the MCU, and it's kind of a shame that she only got her movie now
She should have had her
after
movie 10 years ago, dude.
mhm, only got her movie now after Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel. Only because of the success of those films. Here's the thing,
To be fair,
Captain Marvel,
they were making this before Captain Marvel even came out.
I
So,
guess so,
but your Wonder Woman film still
but
does count.
they were making Captain Marvel before Black Widow came out, so it probably they had plans for Captain Marvel before
Probably, yeah.
Wonder Woman, and the only reason Captain Marvel came out was because of the success of Wonder Woman.
Captain Marvel?
I'd say so.
It it was announced before the Wonder Woman movie before the Wonder Woman movie even started filming.
Hmm.
Before they even it was actually even before they were done filming BVS.
That was a while back though.
Yeah, 2014 is when they announced the Captain Marvel movie.
That probably had nothing to do with it. Damn.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't even think Captain Marvel succeeded because if it was Captain Marvel. It was literally a
It
movie
came out before
between
Endgame. That's why it
yeah,
made so much money.
between
It would have made
Infinity
money
War and Endgame,
it would have made money regardless,
but not a billion.
but not a
I'm willing to
billion.
bet.
Yeah, not a billion if it didn't come out before Endgame.
No way, no way. Um, it feels really slimy to have a Black Widow movie come out for those reasons. It's a character that people like. People want that movie,
Yep.
and it's really scummy to tell us that you have no confidence in her succeeding, even though she's so beloved. and you couldn't push that thing. But to have it come out in the worst circumstances of all time during a pandemic,
and a lawsuit.
mhm, have the movie be in between Civil War and Infinity War. The fuck are you thinking? And then there's just what it does to Black Widow's character. I I was basically speechless with what they had Natasha do, the news things they had her say, and the shoehorned in family that could have been good, mind you. The family dynamic between those two. The trailers made it seem okay. I'm gonna lie, trailers made it seem kind of appealing, but it wasn't. I think her family members are fucking horrible people. Mainly the mom. The mom, he should go to jail and
We don't
be
have to make this a long review of Black Widow, but
executed. Well, we never did it, so
no,
might as well do it now, right?
no.
Just enough, just enough. Yeah, her. She should go to jail, be reprimanded, and killed. Um, Also Taskmaster. What a fucking shame. Um, of a villain to waste in such a way that they did in the film. Like, I had a bad feeling with the trailer when they revealed, oh, Taskmaster. Okay, what are they gonna do with him? Oh, nothing good. The movie came out, and I basically predicted as soon as they showed us one of the many flashbacks in the movie that what happened, and I basically knew who Taskmaster was. So the reveal wasn't all that shocking to me, at least. I don't know. I think people in our theater did find it shocking. Can you recall?
No,
No. Yeah.
because all I'm remembering was how awful that theater experience was.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, other than me, was it just me, or just
Mhm.
it was just me? I mean, I gotta say, it's a little silly to have your whole, you know, feelings on the film converted because I had a bad time with it. I don't know. I mean, I was definitely commenting on shit like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? It's funny? You kidding me?" I wasn't that loud. I was just like, "Oh my god, really?" But I don't know. Don't worry about me when we're watching movies, okay? Just worry about yourself, and you'll have a better time than I will. But yeah, my feelings to this movie are very strong, and I hate this movie forever. It's not the worst as of this year. There are two that are worse: Chaos Walking and Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil Raccoon City. They are definitely so much worse than this movie. But I care about Black Widow, or did, and I have history with the MCU. So it was just a really bad shame to me, and I was very disappointed with the film. It's not a good start to my fucking year either. This film, it's been on my mind for years, like years, months. Ever since watching it, and I always knew, oh, this is gonna be the worst of of the year. I know it, and here it is, flashing its poster at me. Ah, and luckily, I never have to talk about it ever again.
Please
I
don't.
really do.
And it would also do me very good if I didn't have to hear another sly comment about it ever again.
I really do.
It's not true.
I should talk The Last of Us 2 more than let talk. Should talk Black Widow.
That's very true. But you do shit talk Black Widow a lot.
Alright. It's more like reminders. This is like Black Widow. It's not a slight comment. It's just like saying this is like reminds me of Black Widow. It's like a bad thing to do. Don't do that.
Well,
But yeah,
that was your worst of the year.
it was.
All
Oh,
right.
if we ever do an MCU list, expect that to be the final that one. Yeah,
At the bottom of the list.
bottom,
Yeah.
the top bottom, because I'm gonna talk about it first, and then the rest. Oh boy.
As I have this slated, you're actually up again to do your best of, with starting with your
Oh,
honorable mentions.
oh boy, oh boy. It's a goal.
All right, these are yours.
Honorable mentions. Woo! Movies I like. Yay! Let's start from right this time. Don't look up.
Was it actually hard for you to get 10 that you liked?
10 that I liked.
Yeah,
It was harder for me to get honorable mentions. Honestly, I'll say.
because I,
Because
considering um, I've spent basically this entire last year watching movies with you, I figured it would be very hard for you to find 10 that you liked, but
yes,
I guess that was not the truth.
um, I guess a little harder. I mean, I want to be genuine with it, and I didn't have many options to be honest, because it was just not a good year for movies for me. So, and it seems that I just missed whatever the end of the year had for good ones. Because you,
I spent the last week just trying to watch as many movies that I missed as I
Mhm,
could, and I found a lot of good ones. So
yeah.
more good than bad.
Mhm. But here are my honorable mentions. I'm gonna start from right now. So don't look up. I can look up as pretty neat. My feelings of the movie aren't really that strong, but I think it's a very good movie. That sends a pretty good message to, I guess, to the people who saw it. Acting's really good. And it does a good job in stressing the viewer out. I was stressed. I won't lie. My heart was beating. Boom, 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 boom. Oh man. So in the Heights, I love In the Heights. I'm not even gonna lie, but I think it's a very flawed film too. Contrived, a little manipulative for me to be fond of all the characters. Because I think a lot of them are just really obnoxious and annoying. While why I love the movie so much is because of the singing and the sure. I'm a I'm Hispanic. I'm Puerto Rican, and I appreciated the things the movie showed, talked about, and just seeing glimpses of my life in Puerto Rico being shown in the Heights just felt really warmed me up inside, and I really had a good time watching In the Heights, uh, 3 times. But so yeah, In the Heights is pretty great to me at least. Free Guy. Oh man, Free Guy. Fucking, it's a fucking stupid pop culture movie that does a better Ready Player One than Ready Player One, might I say. This is probably the last time I'm gonna take any more of Ryan Reynolds' shenanigans,
Yeah,
but
please, enough of Ryan Reynolds for
it's
this
a little
for
different here because he wasn't as obnoxious as he is in movies like Red Notice or
Red Notice.
anything like that.
Somehow
He's a
both
little
skipped both of our lists, but
he's a lot more clueless,
yeah,
Ryan Reynolds, and that's really funny to see him being a mumbling idiot who grows to be a more experienced, wiser guy. I like that. It's a fun movie. Uh, it's a fan service fest. Goddamn, it's a cameo
yeah.
fest. Goddamn.
If you're a fan of comedy or if you're a fan of games,
Mm-hmm. No, it's just pop culture in general.
yep.
I'm surprised so many of us popped off when we saw the Captain America shield show up, and made even better by the Chris Evans cameo.
Yeah,
What the shit? So yeah, I liked Free Guy a lot. It was fun. Vacation Friends. Vacation Friends was really funny to me, at least. Um, I'm a big John Cena fan. I I don't think I ever try to hide that ever. So seeing him just do a lot of silly shit in the movie had me cracking up, and he was basically the highlight of the film for me. That and everything uh, was as funny as one would think, but I think the film was really clever in its comedy, most of it at least, and just a really fun time to watch. Um, I guess you could say there are some okay lessons to learn from the film. It's nothing like Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead or Wolf's End, where you learn some very valuable lessons mixed in with some good-hearted comedy. But yeah, Vacation Friends is just a really fun film to watch on Hulu. If you ever feel like laughing, bring in a few beers, bring some friends over, watch Vacation Friends. Maybe watch it with your
if you
girlfriend too.
if you ever feel like watching anything on Hulu.
Oh, that case, just watch fucking Palm Springs.
Please
That's
watch
pretty
Palm
good.
Springs, but
Please.
why were these honorable and not on your list?
Uh, I like them. Um, but a lot of them are just really flawed.
Mhm.
That's the main thing with them. And even though I only liked In the Heights is basically what falls into that issue of just having way too many flaws for me to put it up there.
Mhm.
Even though despite how much I fucking love the movie, and
And there's 10 movies you liked more?
I did.
All
I wish I
right.
liked more.
So now your number 10 would be.
Eat the Christmas. What a fun Christmas movie. It just felt like a really old school film to me. Like it's something that I would have watched back in Puerto Rico in 2007 or 10. Something like really classic goes on, like Home Alone Christmas movie. I just feel like yeah, literally, I can't say old school enough without sounding repetitive, but it really just felt like an old school film that you would watch, have fun with your family, learn out learn a good lesson about Christmas or just family overall. It's pretty funny too. Some lighthearted humor, little like it has this poop joke tone, just
Mhm.
a lot of some total humor there here and there. Some of it was clever, but yeah, I really like Epic Christmas. It actually made me a little emotional in the end. Not like, oh, I'm gonna cry, but like, oh, that's nice. It got me. You got me there. Got me there. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with Epic Christmas, and I fully recommend it if you like. No, I recommend it as a Christmas marathon movie because that's the best way to watch Epic Christmas on Christmas. A movie with your
I
family.
honestly, there's only out of your lists, there's only two movies that I missed out of your lists. Everything else I saw.
Being that
This
being
was one
this,
of them, and then another movie that's on your list. Oh,
mm,
and Vacation Friends, but that's mentions.
yeah,
Everything else I saw.
yeah. I thought Epic Christmas was pretty great. I kind of loved it.
All right.
Number
9.
9. Wrath of Man. So, I don't really didn't really know much about Guy Ritchie at the time in his movies, but Wrath of Man was a very nice surprise. I saw it in Puerto Rico with my dad. I'm pretty sure I saw this before Those Who Wish Me Dead. So as much as I wasn't pleased with Those Who Wish Me Dead, it didn't ruin my fond memory of Wrath of Man. It is not an action film as I thought it was gonna be. It has Jason Statham in it, so I thought it was gonna be like, oh
It's a
my god,
slow burn.
Corbin. It reminded me more of Joker than anything else. Say that because of the fucking music in the film sounded very much like Joker. You know, it's just
Yeah, the cello or whatever it's called.
yeah, the cello, some fucking masterful violins
Yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah. I think that's the cello. Yeah.
It's pretty neat. I think it's a very interesting film to watch. Uh, I really like Jason Statham's character. I um I like the pacing, even though it may be a bit slow for some people, and it really was. I like how everything what's the word?
Load,
Huh?
load.
I do like how everything flowed, just how everything concluded in the end, I guess. The build up to the ending.
Yeah.
It was very brutal in the end. It's a very brutal film too. It does not hold back on the violence, even though there's not a lot of action. It is a very violent film.
Mhm.
It's hard to watch sometimes too, because a lot of it is just really unexpected and cold, and like, oh no, I can't believe it fucking happened. But I'd say the ending is pretty satisfying because the villain, antagonist, there we go, is kind of a piece of shit. real piece of shit. And seeing him get his comeuppance in the end, it was like, oh yeah, yeah, you deserve that shit, bruh. You deserve that shit. There you go. That's you
And
fucking get.
after this, you watched. It made you compelled to watch more Guy Ritchie stuff, and so we watched the. I
Mhm.
made you watch The Gentleman
Yeah,
because that was. I remember praise like raving about that movie too when I saw it.
The Gentleman is one of the best films I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm not even
I
joking.
love The Gentleman. I don't think it's like one of Guy Ritchie's best, but it's the most return to form Guy Ritchie has ever done.
Can't wait to watch more of his stuff.
He's got a movie that's coming out in March
Mm, excellent.
with Jason Statham. Wouldn't you think?
So that's this guy, I guess.
Hmm?
I guess that's this guy. Jason Statham.
He's done quite a few movies with Jason Statham. He also loves Charlie Hunnam.
Mm.
But yeah, is that on to the next one?
Yeah, on to the next one. Number 8. Raja and the Last Dragon.
Raya.
I'm putting on chapstick so I couldn't say it right. Lips are dry. Oh yeah, I think this movie's pretty fun and good too. Looking back at it, there's not a lot to grasp on characters, maybe except for Raya. But the film has some pretty fun action and fight scenes. It is also really, really, really beautiful to look at. I
This
mean,
was the first
it's just,
movie we came back to the theaters for.
mhm.
Yeah,
I mean, man, listen, just look at this poster.
I picked
That's,
the
that's
best poster that I could find.
it's a really good poster. I
Yeah,
mean,
all the other posters were like okay. This was the best
that's
one that
all,
I could
that
find.
is only a taste of what the movie
Yeah,
offers in terms of animation and
this
art.
spoiler alert. This movie almost made my list,
Yeah.
but there was another movie that I liked more that took its spot.
Yeah. I don't really know Disney much for having fight scenes, especially Disney animated
Animated, yeah,
films
Disney animated.
with,
Like the only example would be
with
The Incredibles.
yeah, with fucking princesses. This is a princess film, by the way.
Technically,
Just
yes.
to
Yeah,
technically, yes.
it's technically yes.
And it has unironically some of the best fights I've seen all year.
Did you look into how they did that?
I did not.
So they actually Disney went out and got two of the best stunt women in the world in the movie industry, and
Mhm.
they had them choreograph the fights.
Wow. Okay, so I'm really glad they.
Specifically the Raya versus Namari fight in the middle of the movie and at the end.
That's good.
Yep.
No, it's good. They got
It was
fucking women
so
for it.
the one who did the choreography for Raya was the one who did the choreography for Ahsoka in season 7 of Clone Wars.
Nice.
Yep. And she helped with Ray Park to do the fight for the Ahsoka versus Maul fight in season
I
7.
know. I that I do know.
Yeah.
That was a pretty great too. But it's good that they got woman for it instead of Sorry to go back to it. Black Widow. For Taskmaster, they just had a guy in the suit all the
Yeah,
time instead of
that was stupid.
yeah. So that's a real shame. But this is good. I like that. I like knowing more with this movie because I think this movie is pretty great.
Yeah. I bought this
Uh,
on 4K. This was like the first
nice.
movie that I was like, yeah,
I mean,
it's a 4K buy.
it's a pretty beautiful movie. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
it's one of the most beautiful looking Disney animated movies I think, particularly this one because of the
The
different
world.
landscapes. Because if you look at
Yeah.
like Moana, the movie's gorgeous, but it's mostly just water and land. This
Mhm.
is water, land, sand, air, like so many different kind of vistas.
No places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and of course the
Yeah.
action. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I don't want to take away from you. Sorry, I gotta shut
No,
up.
it's fine. It's fine.
Just
I'm gonna move on anyway because it's
yeah, gushing about how
just
good this movie is.
mhm. Watch Raya.
Please do. All right.
Number 7. Dune.
Mm.
No, 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 no. See, I wasn't really excited for Dune. Really, I didn't see the trailers. Not many of them. I was really confused on the hype for it. I knew nothing about the book. Then I bought it, read like 30 pages, never read it again because I'm lazy. Um, but I enjoyed Dune a lot. I enjoyed the world, how things worked. I was very fond of some of the characters. Oscar Isaac's character was great. Jason Momoa's character was great. Tosh Brolin's character was great. Zendaya's character, or well, she's not fucking in it, so I can't say much about her. But yeah, I really, really, really did like Dune as a sci-fi, and I was impressed with this world building, even though it did leave some stuff out, some stuff for me to really want to get a look at. Like, I want more. Give me more. Doesn't give me more, unfortunately, which is the big issue with this film. It really just fucking leaves you blue balled. It it it, it doesn't have an ending. It just stops,
Yeah,
and you gotta wait for part two now.
2023.
Mhm. But it's not this high in this list because I just really like the craft that went into it, the world, this the designs of the characters and their clothing, the vehicles, the animals. It is a really beautiful film with great elements of good character writing and whatnot. Some of it being pretty subtle, but yeah, I
Go.
had a lot of
I
fun.
guess I should throw in go watch our film section on Dune. If you would like to hear
Mm,
more about our thoughts on the film and personally why I disliked it.
yeah,
Um, I think I have valid reasons for disliking it, but as if you watch that video, we go into our very, I guess, detailed conversation about it.
it's fine. Not a lot of people like Dune,
Yeah, I was
by the
left.
looks of it.
For me, it wasn't even left like blue balls, like you said. It was just more of like I felt empty while watching it. I felt nothing,
Mm,
and like I wasn't bored. I don't feel like I wasted my time, and I like what the movie has to offer in many cases. But for me, I just couldn't grab onto any of the characters, and the ones that I did died or were suddenly not in the movie anymore.
Most of them kind of die, so
And it just hurts that I don't really care about Paul.
mm,
And again, like you said, it just kind of ends, and I don't really have much to look forward to, I guess. But I guess I should throw out there when Dune 2 comes out, and if it's really good and it delivers on everything they've been hyping, I will change my score to this one, to chapter 1 as they called it. Like
yeah, I hope for.
legitimately, if the part 2 sticks to landing, I will forgive all of my, consider it null and void, my
I am
issues
excited for
with
part two.
Dune. I
I
will
am
watch part 2,
whenever that comes out in
2023.
2029. Sorry, it's not gonna come out ever.
Okay.
We're gonna be old men with children.
I guess so.
Yeah. Moving on.
Okay.
Number
6.
number 6. The Suicide Squad. Oh my god, a really a good DCU film. Shit. Man, what a surprise. What a what a good move to get James Gunn to do a DC
Oh
film with
boy. Holy shit, you get a really talented director to come in and do their own thing. Holy shit, it's
yeah.
almost like that fucking works.
Yeah, especially with such characters and concepts that you wouldn't think would work on any director's hands, but James Gunn apparently
It works
not
perfectly
apparently
and it
not
works
not appar
perfectly in his hands.
you know what? Not apparently, because James Gunn is a really, really good fucking character writer.
He loves to write characters, you can tell.
Mm,
You know
mhm,
he loves to write dialogue.
and man, I love the characters in this movie. I really do. Bloodsport, Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2, King Shark, Polka Dot Man, Brick Flag. They are the best characters that the DCU has had in a long time, and I cared about them a lot. Like, I can't say it enough, I cared a lot about them a lot. I feared for what for if or when they died. I cared about how they felt. Um, Ratcatcher 2, out of the most emotional scene in the film around the end, which it just has a really, really great line that gets to me every time I hear it and follow with the music. Like, I get really emotional. I'm getting emotional thinking about it right now. Man, it's a really good film. Peacemaker is my favorite character in the film. No bias for John Cena. I just think he's really interesting.
No
Um,
bias for John Cena, he says.
no, generally no bias for John Cena. I think Peacemaker is very interesting as a character, and having someone, you know, with such conflicts and with certain beliefs to him and how much he follows his beliefs is really cool to see. And basically having his whole world rocked by Rick Flag made me like go like, oh shit. I wonder what they're gonna do with you. And we're gonna find out in the Peacemaker HBO Max series. I hope they don't fuck it up. Well, it's lucky they won't because James Gunn is involved in it. So,
He's not writing, I don't think.
oh no. Well, I
We'll
hope
see.
he is. We we will see. But yeah, I think the plot of the film is not great. Wasn't impressed with the action at all, really. But yeah, it's just all about the characters in this movie. I love the characters. I can't stress it enough. I want to see more of these characters, and I want to see them live happy lives and whatnot. Ooh, but um, this really does make me excited for the future of the DCU. Uh, a franchise that I believe has basically just been consistently really shit for a long time, and this was a streak breaker, a streak breaker. And if we can get more films like this in the future, I am more than happy to watch them and enjoy them. And it gets me excited for the future. But yeah, the Suicide Squad. I love this movie so much, man. Ah, feels good to talk about it too. Feels good to talk about a good movie.
Hmm.
And it came out in August too. Oh my god, a good movie that came out in August. Oh man.
Beginning of so did Free Guy. That came out in August as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. Number 5. Nobody.
I'm glad I made you watch this.
Damn guys, nobody's really fucking good. I had a fun time watching this movie.
And the
The
fact that
action is so good and great.
keep in mind we saw this the same day that we saw Snake Eyes.
Oh boy.
So we came out of Snake Eyes. You were very, very dead inside, and I said, "Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna make you watch a good movie."
Yep.
And he goes, "Okay, I don't believe you."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay, we're gonna watch Nobody." I was like, "Just trust
Oh,
me."
okay.
And what do you know?
What do you know? Man. I assume nobody has a lower budget than Snake Eyes, right?
Like 5 million or something like that. It cost to make this.
Fuck.
Yeah, Snake Eyes probably had like a $50 million budget or something.
Probably higher, knowing who's making it. Um, Nobody has great action. Like really good action. It's realistic, grounded, but even with those factors, it is not a stale action movie. The realism and grounded factor of it actually makes it a lot more intense and fun to watch. And seeing, I gotta remember his name.
Bob
Uh,
Odenkirk.
yeah, Bob Odenkirk. Seeing him basically kick ass throughout the whole film is quite engaging
It's very
because
funny.
the character. It's very funny because the character is actually pretty insane. You wouldn't think so, based on the beginning of the film.
Yeah,
Just
the movie at the start is deliberately unassuming
mhm,
because you don't know what it is, and then the movie hits
yep.
a certain switch, and then the movie changes, and it's
Mhm.
I don't even want to say it's like genius that they did that because it's not. It's the choice you would make, but the execution is just so well done that like it's just ugh. I did go
It's,
see this in
it's,
theaters, and I had a
yeah,
great time.
lucky you, you piece of
You could
shit.
have, but you were working, I think.
I was asleep.
Oh, but I'm glad I forced you to sit down and watch this, and I'm sure you're glad
Hmm.
about it too.
I'm very glad. Thank you.
Yep. There's a couple
Yeah,
movies
no,
that actually made this list that I forced you to watch.
yeah,
Yeah, and I bet you're glad about
I'm pretty glad about it. Yeah.
it. Yeah. Well,
Because I was saying I can just watch this at home. But, yo, we gotta watch it now, huh? Okay. And it's funny because some of them are basically cures after watching really shit movies.
yeah.
So yeah, this is one of them. I was cured after watching a bad action movie
And I was like,
to
you know what?
watching
I will make you watch a good one.
a good action movie. What do you know?
Yeah, there you go.
Good movie. Watch it
Hmm.
now. On to number 4. If I ever got in the movie, oh man, it hits my heart. Listen, I am a very, 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 very big fan of the Violet Evergarden show on Netflix. That's not that shit in 2018. What do you know? And
It's still on my list.
still, you should watch it. It is one of the few anime to make me cry, and it did. The show, I am basically in love with the show. I am very invested in the character of Violet Evergarden. To seeing her story from almost beginning to end, because as far as you know, her life started when she met the Major. That is the start of her life of loving somebody and feeling things, and watching that all go into its progress and then end. And this film, this it felt like I went through a big journey with her, and I'm very happy for her in the end. I love this film, but the thing is, I'm not happy with the choices Violet Evergarden made because I think some of them are very much against her character and what she learned throughout the series in the anime. I just think it's not character assassination because it is in character for her to want to be with the Major, but for her to want to abandon her friends for that, even despite everything she's learned, it just sent me off the wrong way. But the movie is a emotional roller coaster. It does a lot of things right because it gets to you, especially if you're like a big fan of this film. Um, I can't stress enough how beautiful the art and animation of this film is. Every scene just shines life. Even like the dark aspects of the film. They're like throughout the third act, they're mainly in this really gray area, but even that looks like wow, that's really good. Oh shit. Even though I'm still impressed. But yeah, I I love this film. Uh when I heard it was coming out in what was it, 2019, I believe? 2020. The announcement was a while back a lot too. And the what happened to the Studio Kyoto, I believe. I don't remember the name. What happened to them during all that, and seeing them come back to form with this film is like, yeah, that's welcome back.
Holy shit, this is a 2.5 hour movie?
It is a long movie.
God
It's
damn.
a very long movie. Yeah, it's a chunker.
Well,
And the issue, it should have just been a season 2. So this film should have been just another season because this it has a lot to cover, but some of it felt a little unsatisfying, even it was 2.5 hours. But
this actually kind of
I,
is a really good segue into your next one.
hmm, anime. Oh man, number 3, Demon Slayer, Mugen Train. Oh boy. So remember how I said that Brother Regarding the anime is one of the few animes that make me cry? Well, this is also one of them because I cried after this movie ended. Because
Yeah, I was there. I was
Rengoku,
there.
because Rengoku is a badass motherfucker. He's a real one, bro. Listen, listen, that homie be throwing hands and shit. He be like, "Nah, man, I ain't gonna join your shitty demon game." Square up. He square up. He threw hands and he said, "Man, you stabbed me through the chest." I was gonna, oh man, I'm fucking dead. Uh, yeah, this movie made me care about this character called Rengoku, who we saw. It was literally in the anime of season 1 for like not even 5 minutes, and I didn't care for him. But then He was in this movie. We saw a lot of him and learned about a lot about him, his character, his history, and seeing it all culminate in this epic final fight against the bastard demon guy. I forget his name. Who cares? He sucks. Um, felt good to watch, even if it cost him his life. And seeing him just smile in the end with what he said about he basically has always smiled into the end because that's what his father told him. And seeing him die with a smile was like, oh fuck, no, my heart, cry, I'm gonna cry, and it did. It was like what I was in the theater.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was the one fucking crying.
Yep. Well,
Shit, God damn it.
there you go.
Also, the film was very funny. It's just a really fun film. Watching Tanjiro, Inosuke and Zenitsu back at their, back at their typical thing. This is great to
Yeah.
watch.
For
I,
me, it was a
I,
little
I,
too long, but
yeah. I like seeing these characters be at their thing again. After watching the anime because it wasn't that long until the anime, right? Not that long.
in the anime,
No, like the anime came out in 2019, I believe,
2019,
right?
yeah.
Shit, yeah, damn, 2 years, shit.
And this movie came out in 2020 in Japan.
Japan, yeah, because they're bastards.
Same with the
But
Violet Evergarden movie.
yeah, because they're bastards. But yeah, seeing it in 2021, it's like, oh man, it's been so long, guys. How's it been? How are the kids, man? You feeling good? Yeah, it's nice. It was just a fun film. Very in line with the anime. I didn't think it was gonna be so close to the end because usually anime movies aren't. They're usually just one-offs, filler. Like, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball movies are usually were usually just one-offs and non-canon and whatnot. But this wasn't. This is season two. It's going to follow up right after this, and I think season two is out right now. I better get to that right now after this is over.
Well, you'll be watching
Yeah,
the movie again, I guess, if you watch the second season.
on Crunchyroll, I believe. So yeah, probably. Crunchyroll split it into episodes. I think.
No, no, no. Like as it aired, they aired the first few episodes were the movie.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Mugen Train. I loved it a lot. And here it is. Now, a movie I really, 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 really loved, and is actually my favorite of this year, in a way. No Way Home. Guys, I fucking love No Way Home so much, guys. As a Spider-Man fan, it was so nice seeing Spider-Man again after after all my doubts and after all my doubts and had faith for this film. This film delivered in probably every way it possibly could. I was satisfied to the end with seeing the three Spider-Man team up. I was emotionally grabbed, invested with seeing Toby and Andrew, especially fucking Andrew. What a surprise! Andrew was the highlight of the film for me. It's kind of nuts, even though I hate his movies. Yeah, it was just a really big
But you
surprise
don't
for
you
me.
don't hate him as Spider-Man.
I hate him. It's like Google Hunting. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You were just in a bad. You were just in two bad movies. It's not your fault, Andrew. Please give me a Miss Spider-Man 3 with John Watts. Have him direct and do whatever. Or the writers of this movie too. They know what they're doing. Give them the rails for TMSA 3,
Well, John
please.
Watts has his hands tied with Fantastic Four, so
You know what? That's fine. If anyone's gonna do it right, it's probably him. Don't you agree?
I guess so.
I mean, he's not that out of the park with three Spider-Man films.
Yeah, three Spider-Man movies I really enjoyed.
So shit, man. Let's give him Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and I guess you're number one.
Oh, hold on. I don't think I'm done yet
Oh, of course
because
not.
I gotta talk about.
You
Man, I
really
gotta I
don't.
gotta talk.
You really don't.
Why not?
Because we did a 3-hour film section on this. That you should totally check out.
We didn't talk about Green Goblin though.
Hmm?
Didn't talk about Green Goblin.
Yeah, you really don't have to. It's kind of just like a general wrap
Green
up.
Goblin is the best MCU villain right now. There, that's it. Move on.
And I guess, yeah,
And my number one film of 2021, oh boy, it will have to be Andrew Garfield film called Tick Tick Boom. Man, so you see, I was getting like a little sick of hearing about musicals coming out in 2021 over and over again. Um, they're like zombie movies, no, zombie movies and zombie games. Hey, Gabe, you want to play a zombie game? And to me, you're like, hey, Ernest, want to watch this musical? And I'm like, no. But then you push me to watch this one after watching the abysmal thing that was Resident Evil. And Tick Tick Boom came out, and I was pleasantly surprised with Tick Tick Boom.
I guess
I
more
think
blown away would be.
uh, that is true. I think this film is fantastic in every way possible. Generally, it might just be one of my favorite films of all time
And from a
because
first
it's
time director.
huh. Lin-Manuel basically knocked it out of the park with this one. Um, the for a musical, the music was really good in it, as it should be, right?
Yes, it should be.
Yeah. Nothing, no song in the movie made me go, okay, I don't want to fucking hear this. Can we move to something else? Because in the Heights, I kind of felt that. I won't lie, I felt that in the Heights because after hearing the first song in that movie, I was like, this is okay, but I want to get something like the other one that we got before, and we think of some of that. But for this movie, every song was consistently better than the other one. Boom, 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 boom. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Have another one. Have another one. The songs had me emotionally drained because I was like, oh shit, this movie's hitting hard. It like Marriage Story because it's a Netflix movie, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very good surprise for me, and I really like Tick Tick Boom, and yeah, it's my number one film of 2021.
Well, would you look at that?
Wow, look at that, yeah.
Netflix.
Netflix, you're popping off, damn, bro. Shit.
Yeah.
Make more of those. Don't make another Sweet Girl.
Oh, fuck. Don't ever make another Sweet Girl.
You can make another Extracted. Make Extracted too. Good
They are
action.
making Extraction too.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I don't know why, but they're making Extraction too.
Because money, and it's really popular. And Chris Hemsworth is really hot. So
Oh, okay.
we gotta get the woman to rule over this man. Come on, make another movie. Chris is like, and he's like, oh, okay, guys, I got it. Don't worry. That's how he talks.
I guess so. Well, quite comprehensive, I guess you would say. And
So
now it is my turn
you
to,
were
I
next.
guess, close this out. And we'll start with my honorable mentions.
Oh, boy.
This was actually a struggle for me to pick out
Mm.
because um, I wanted to include something else, but in thinking about another movie, I decided that it needed to go on the list while something else had to go. And the
Interest.
unfortunate casualty of that was Ryan the Last Dragon.
Oh,
I really like Ryan the Last Dragon. I've seen it twice now. It's really good. Um, yeah, it has it. I think it has its flaws, particularly with its plot and some of its story threads, and particularly some of its characters that I don't think were particularly redeemable when they tried to. But the movie's gorgeous. It has fantastic action and a really great lead. And also, another film that actually grew on me was Judas and the Black Messiah, a film that I initially was pretty positive on. I thought it was very good when I saw it, and then I saw it again on a plane back from Puerto Rico. I'm also from Puerto Rico, yeah, Boricua. Uh, Seeing it on the plane on the way back from Puerto Rico, something about it just clicked, and I realized this movie was actually really damn good, like better than I gave it credit for. It is just so well put together. And I think it helps that there was some distance in time between, because when I first saw it, I saw it basically when it came out. Um, but when I saw it again, it was a good few months, so it was a little more fresh in my mind. And yeah, it was just fantastic. And on another note about Netflix, I Care a Lot. I think a movie that a lot of people slept on, and I was actually thought this movie was going to blow up more than it did, but no, it actually got swept under the rug because it came out really early in the year on Netflix. Um, a really really good dark comedy if you ever needed to watch one with a truly hateable protagonist, and in the best way possible because that was the actual intention. Don't you love it when you can actually hate a character in a film and it's on purpose?
Yeah, that's a rarity, it seems.
And I just thought that was it was such a good movie, so fun, so lively, and I had Rosamund Pike gave easily, I think, tops her Gone Girl performance. I think easily tops it. And on a good note, I put a DC animated movie in the worst list. Unfortunately, this one, Batman: The Long Halloween, I'm counting both parts as one.
You'd always should count both parts, I think.
Um, I, as a whim, decided to watch part one. Right, I just out of the blue was like, yeah, I'll watch this. And as soon as it finished, I immediately started the next part because I was hooked. I was hooked. I wanted to know. I wanted to know how it ended, and I was pleasantly surprised. I really, really enjoyed those films. I think they're on the same, maybe not the same level as something like Under the Red Hood, but I think they're up there. I think they're very well made films, really well told, very well acted,
Out of the few you've seen,
very well out of the few I've seen. And honestly, I think they're very rewatchable. Like they're
DC films usually are animated films.
yeah, but
They
this
usually
these
are.
ones in particular, they feel very rewatchable because you can't just watch part one and then not watch part two.
Well, they're short, right? So,
Yeah, they're like an hour 20 each.
mhm,
They're short,
yeah,
but they're really good, and I recommend them to anyone who chooses to watch them. And the reason why these are honorable mentions and not on the list is I watched 10 other movies I thought were better.
that's how it works, right?
And that would be how it would work. And so that takes me to my number 10 pick for the year, and that would be Encanto.
Oh my God.
So I initially gave this an 8 out of 10, which would have put it below um,
Oh yeah.
Raya and the Last Dragon. But upon thinking about it, and one particular reason, I still have my issues with Encanto. I don't think it's a perfect film. I think it's actually a little overrated. The music is stuck in my head.
Oh
I actually can't get it out.
shit. When is the last time we saw a good Disney musical?
Moana.
Damn, that's 2016, bro. That's a while back. Shit.
But also, I'm a little biased, I guess, because
Because
I love Lin Manuel. But this film, I still have its. I promise the songs. I don't think all of them are great, but there's one song in the film, and you know it when you hear it. It's the song that's been stuck in my head since I saw it. I can't get it out, and I can't stop
is
listening
is
to
this
it.
is this the next Let It Go and
Maybe not the next Let It Go, because Let It Go got played on the
what what
radio.
what was that shit in Moana?
Oh, How Far I'll Go.
Yep.
This movie doesn't have. There's actually way less music in Encanto than there is in Moana and Frozen.
Oh,
There's actually, I think, only. I can actually check for you right now. There's only like 6 songs
in Encanto?
in Encanto. Yeah,
Gee.
yeah. There's not many.
Well, not very long either.
No, but it's about is the same length as Moana and Frozen, but there's just way less songs. There's actually more plot and story in Encanto than you would think. But
Moana is 143 and Encanto is 139.
oh, okay, then I guess it was yeah, it was a little shorter, but uh, yeah, no, Encanto is very good. I think you should watch it. It's free on Disney Plus now. It's just there. What are you doing?
Not having Disney Plus. That's what.
But
Like you're talking to me. What are you doing? I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. I'll watch it soon. Don't worry.
man,
Soon,
Encanto,
sometime.
very very good. Actually, could get better on a rewatch, but I don't know. And that takes me to my number 9 spot, which would be Nobody.
Oh my,
Um,
number 9.
yeah, a film that I very thoroughly enjoyed. A very good action movie, very rewatchable. Bob Odenkirk was really, really good as the lead, and it's also really refreshing to see a studio where they heavily focus on creating good action and
Make good action.
yeah, and make good action, and that would be 87 North Productions, the studio that produced this, run by the guys that made John Wick, and they were stunt guys themselves and stunt coordinators, so they know what they're doing, and this is just another movie to add into that catalog. And yeah, a really great one. I think something you also, I guess I shouldn't say forgot to mention, but the supporting cast is all really good in this.
Mm.
And while the villain is schlocky and honestly pretty lame, he's fun. He's different. And there was lots of great bits of humor in this, where like the villain threatens his assistant to go find up information on Bob Odenkirk, and then when she finds it, she immediately quits.
Yeah.
She finds information, goes, "Oh fuck this! I'm not dealing with that guy." And it's just fun little bits of humor like that that give the movie a different flavor and have it gives it its own identity. It stands on its own. I
Is
think,
that John Wick? Fuck this.
and yeah, that's why I really really enjoyed Nobody. And I guess now if we're getting on to a movie I kind of loved, Ghostbusters Afterlife at the number 8
Oh
spot.
my.
A movie that
So
has a lot of flaws, and
I
I
have a question
acknowledge
before you
yes.
continue. Is this list based more on how much you liked the films or how much you thought of them objectively? Like, which you thought was better than the
Um,
other?
I definitely did rate this, and I think which one I thought was better than the other.
All right.
I acknowledge every single movie on this list except for one I think has flaws, major ones.
Huh. I wonder what that is. Ooh.
And Ghostbusters Afterlife does have plenty of flaws,
Mhm.
and many that have been acknowledged and I fully endorse and I believe in. But this movie has incredible heart and incredible respect for its legacy and for the history of the franchise. And for that,
Mm.
I can give this movie nothing but praise. The fact that this movie nearly made me cry,
Ah, really?
nearly made me cry, and just how right it all felt. It has its flaws. It has moments that are actually cringe inducingly bad.
Oh, that's not
I
good.
can't help but love it. It's just so overall well made and has so much love and care put into it that I can't give it too much shit for it. You know what I
All right.
mean? Like it's got its problems, but I can't fault it for having heart and for caring to give a shit.
Well, it's kind of like what you're doing with me, I guess.
Yeah, for putting in the work.
Mhm.
They earned it with this one. And I guess I don't even remember what my number 7 is, but my number 7 would be Spencer. Yeah. Yeah. This movie's great.
What's that?
This is a biopic starring Kristen Stewart where she plays Princess Diana. And it basically just details a period of her life where she's got a lot of pressure on her to kind of act straight, don't act a fool, don't cause too much attention, while she's kind of
That's cool.
cracking under the pressure of living in the royal palace and having the constant attention put on her and just wanting to kind of go back home. And I thought this film was honestly brilliant. Like I don't use that word often. I don't I don't like to, I guess, give a movie the phrase of the word brilliant if I don't think it's something that really blew my mind. But this movie is kind of brilliant in the way it's told, as it's kind of actually left for you to put the pieces together.
Like Joker.
I guess like Joker, and well, not no, not at all like Joker. That's actually an incorrect.
How so?
Um, Joker is a movie that is leaving all the pieces for you because of its vagueness and the kind of interpretation. Spencer is giving you everything, but it's up to you to um, figure out what they were saying. And there is an intention, there is a meaning, unlike Joker, where there is an intention, but you can kind of derive your own meaning. Spencer has everything laid out there. You just got to figure it out. And I think that's honestly, you know, quite brilliant. And of course, Kristen Stewart, like, if she doesn't get an Oscar nomination for this movie, what the fuck?
It's good to see her in movies that aren't fucking Charlie's Angels.
Please. Or Twilight. But yeah,
Well,
Spencer,
she's surpassed Twilight. That's the
she
thing.
surpassed her and Robert Pattinson have sort of
Yeah,
gone
they've
past
gone
Twilight and really
past.
formed their own careers.
I want to see them work again together in a better movie.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, this, if I have any issues with it, I think it's just maybe a little too long. It's not 2 hours. It's close to that, but it's it could have been shortened a little bit. But
157.
yeah, it's up there, and it can feel a
Really?
little it can feel a little slow.
I guess.
Yeah, that takes me into my number 6 pick, The Suicide Squad,
Hey, same place as mine. Look at that.
and yeah, I guess it is the same places. Yeah, I'm just gonna echo everything you said. It's it's got an iffy plot, but
Hmm.
it's just that character work, man. It's how good those characters are, how much I enjoyed having them on screen together, how good the dialogue was. And while I disagree with you a little bit on the action, I rather enjoyed it, but overall this is just a hell of a good time.
Only one thing stuck out to me. It was Peacemaker versus Rick Flag.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yes.
That's what stuck
I
to
mean,
me
there's also
because of the.
the Starro versus the Squad fight,
Oh, yeah, that was good.
but
But I would think I was just so blown away with
this is I guess, with the character work.
mm,
Um
and that shot with the helmet.
mhm. So I have a confession to make. This is the movie I've watched the most out of any movie this year. I've seen this movie 5 times,
Wow,
and I've loved it every single time.
I'm only up with three.
It's it's just such a good rewatch. Like this movie doesn't get old for me, and that's a praise on itself. So I
Hmm.
can watch it God knows how many times, and it's still as good as I remember it being.
It's also very funny too.
It's also very funny.
Not to mention that.
Yeah, James Gunn, baby, James Gunn.
Mm.
And I guess go to my number 5 spot, and that would be The Last Duel.
Oh shit.
So Ridley Scott made some really dumb comments
Mm.
about how this movie bombed, and I was ready to be a really snarky shithead about it. Like, I was just gonna be a shit this movie because of what he said, but then I watched it, and I'm not gonna lie, like I just said, I don't want to call this movie brilliant, but it's a really brilliant script. The way the story is told is not unique, but it's so well executed. And that comes down to Scott's directing, the script, which is, like, as I said, fantastic, and just how well it's acted. There's a scene in this film, you know, when you see it, that's so uncomfortable. they make you watch it twice
Eh.
just to drive the point home. And one version of it is considerably scarier than the other. Oh, and did I mention this movie is fucking brutal? Like there's a death in this film, or at least a shot of brutality that actually made me want to gag. And I like that's a good thing for like a historical, drama.
Well, medieval films should do that,
Yeah,
I
a
believe.
movie set in medieval times. And this is also another one where like the medieval speak didn't bother me.
Wait, medieval speech bothers you in medieval films?
Sometimes if it's played too oddly, like in The Green Knight, it bothered me a little bit,
Hmm.
but in here it didn't bother me at all.
Like, surely I know you don't want them to just fucking just talk in a modern
No,
way,
no, no, no,
right?
no. Of course not. Of course not.
Hmm.
But the hear ye, thou speak. I'm not a fan of it.
Did I guess Lord of the Rings perfected that, I guess,
I guess so.
for you. Like,
But yeah, Glass Duel. It has a lengthy runtime, and I'm I'm assuring you, it's worth the amount of time you have to sink into it. And I'm this is it's just such a damn good movie. I really hope more people get to watch it because it bombed and it shouldn't have. Disney fucked them over with that release date. So
this Disney, when did it come out with
it's
No Way Home?
Fox, but
Oh,
it came out the same
oh,
weekend as Halloween.
oh shit!
Yeah, right. What are you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? But yeah, please watch The Last Duel. It's fantastic.
If you can,
If you
fuck.
can. And I guess that takes me to my number 4 spot, which would
Number
be
4.
Spider Man No Way Home.
Number 4.
I
Fuck.
actually went and saw
Like,
this again on IMAX.
hmm,
If you would have known from our podcast, go check it out.
yes.
I'm just going to keep plugging.
Explain this shit. Why is it
uh,
number 4?
so it's number 4. There's 3 other movies I think I enjoyed more. And I think
But wait, you said you
probably
were missing
better.
this off.
Probably
There
better.
we go. There we go.
Upon watching it a second time, its flaws were noticeable.
Mm.
More noticeable than it was the first time.
Mm.
But that being said, this movie is still an absolute blast to watch. And one of my flaws were completely null and void. Because I remember when we talked about it the first time, I was scared that watching it again, the movie wouldn't flow as well. That I would feel the first hour. And that was not the case. The movie flowed just fine. And yeah, I'm also just going to echo everything Ernest said, except I'm going to add my piece, which is this is my favorite of the Homecoming trilogy. And I think this is the closest this movie brings the MCU's Peter Parker to truly become Spider-Man in a way that felt natural, a way that felt earned, in a way that makes the other 2 previous movies better. For I guess making me unknowingly think that they set up a trilogy this way. That this was the natural growth of the character.
It was the origin story.
And it was the origin story. And
We didn't
know,
even know until the end.
nope. And I just have to give them praise for the fact that this fucking worked. And like
They played
Ernest,
like a damn fiddle.
I had nothing but like I didn't think this movie was gonna work. I didn't think it was gonna be good.
Hmm.
I had hope, but I don't have trust in Sony. So yeah, I had my fears, and safe to say they were satiated,
Look at that.
and I'm will be very glad to watch this again on 4K.
Look at that fucking Sony just made the best film of Phase 4.
I guess so. Yeah, and my number 3 is The Mitchells versus the Machines. Look at that, another Sony movie.
Well, how about that?
Um, I kind of loved this. Like, genuinely,
Kinda.
I think this movie is like incredible. It's well written, animated, has so much heart and emotion in it, uh, and it actually makes like in any other movie, its humor would have just come off incredibly cringy and forced and lame. But in this movie, it feels so natural, and it doesn't feel like a boomer. Like I don't want to use that word, but like it doesn't feel like boomer speak. It genuinely feels like natural and real, and yeah, and I loved all the characters. And this movie like has moments of like real genuine drama where the movie doesn't forget that it needs to slow down at some points. Like it needs to slow down, take its
Animation
time
that
with its
slows down.
characters, and
Wow.
like
Wow.
take its time with its characters and tell its story and make everything feel earned in a way that's like it will hit it hit me pretty hard. Not to the point where I was like ready to cry, but it was like it snuck up on me, I guess, if you would, if you will.
I'm gonna watch it. Shit.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. The only thing, if I had to say anything about it that was negative, I would say that the movie, um, while it does earn everything it does, I think the movie has some odd pacing issues where the movie feels like it's actually getting towards the third act about a about a third of the way in. Where it got to a certain point, and I was like, "Oh, we probably are like halfway through. We have like like 30 minutes left," and it was like, "No, you still have another hour and a half." And I was like, "What?"
Shit. Did I mention that I saw Ron's Gone Wrong?
Oh no, you did not.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's pretty good. I
There you
liked it.
go. That's another one.
Yeah, that's
That's on
probably
Disney
what it.
Plus now, yeah, and HBO Max. So I probably should check
Yeah,
that out.
that actually would have probably gone on honorable mentions or even the list. Shit, fuck.
Well, there you go.
But I forgot to add it. So
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
Mitchell's vs. Machines. Please watch it if you already haven't. It's actually got a physical release now on Blu-ray. It's out on Blu-ray
She
now, so I might actually pick that up. I'm not gonna lie.
she.
Yeah, now to my number two. Is it any surprise to you?
Oh no, not at all.
In the Heights.
I I already know what number one is too. So
Yeah. Uh, what can I say?
except
You're welcome.
you
Um,
finished it. I didn't.
I kind of adore this movie. Well, not kind
Kinda.
of. I adore it.
Yeah. Don't say
This
kinda. You're lying to yourself and everybody else.
this was my most anticipated movie of 2021, and safe to say for me, it delivered. While I agree with Ernest's criticisms of the film, for me, that shit don't matter. Uh,
So
this
this is the very subjective um placing on the list, right?
I
On
get
the other movie,
I
right?
guess so. This this movie hit me in my core and spoke to me in a way that I've never felt before watching a film.
Really?
Like truly, and I think it's because it's specifically focusing on, you know, everyone in this movie is not like every Hispanic in this movie is not a gangster. They're not a drug dealer. They're not some ese loco mara, that guy. They're not generic Mexican number 5. They're genuine people that are just trying to live their lives and go through their day. And that is so refreshing to see in a way that feels genuine, and you came from the island, I didn't. And I'm sure this movie hit for you in the same way as well. As I saw it with you in the theater, and I could see how it was like making you feel.
I was yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's the culture. That's it. That's it. That's how it is. And
Oh
for me,
boy, was
I
it?
I loved the music. I love Lin Manuel, but and this was his first production, so of course it's not gonna have like the same flavoring that he does now. But I honestly really love the soundtrack to this film, and I've seen this movie. I want to say 4 times. No, 3 times. 3 times. Seen it 3 times.
Same.
Yeah. I saw it once in PR on HBO Max. I saw it again in theaters with you, and then I saw it again at home on 4K. Yeah, I fucking love this movie. And I guess we're gonna keep the Lin-Manuel train going. Yeah, number one is Tick Tick Boom. Who would have fucking guessed?
Mm.
Um,
Quick question.
yeah,
Was it a coin toss? Or
no,
did you just know it was gonna be like the
no,
best one?
no.
No. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
gonna be
No.
this
Yeah.
one. I knew it was gonna be
Mhm.
this one as soon as I saw it, and then I saw it again with you. I went, nope, nope. This is it. It was the same feeling I had when I saw Marriage Story. I was like, yeah, no, this is it. This movie's perfect.
Damn, I wish it was that easy for me in 2019. Fucking 10 movies were my number one. Like, oh, shit, what's my number one?
Yeah, yeah. No, this movie's perfect. I have nothing bad to say about it. Truly, everything about this movie just works. Everything. And it's even more surprising to come from Lin Manuel Miranda, who didn't write the music. He just directed it.
Mm.
He didn't even write it. He just directed the film, and he directs this like he's directed so many movies before.
Yeah, this was expert fucking
This
level.
was like expert fucking level directing, and it actually feels the most like they brought a stage production to the screen. Because like if you watch a lot of musicals that are based off of like Broadway productions, it feels like, okay, how do we turn this musical number, make it big and dramatic and cinematic? This one, there was like, okay, that's how it was on the stage. Here's how it is going to be in the movie, just like it was on the stage, and it works, and it feels refreshing. And I that was one of the things about this movie that I couldn't quite place, and now I can. And that's it. They brought the musical production to the screen in a way that doesn't feel like they're projecting to the back row. And for that, I have nothing but praise, and I desperately would like to see what Lin Manuel directs next.
Mhm.
If it's for Netflix, if it's in theaters, just let me have it. Let me at him. And if Andrew Garfield doesn't get a fucking Oscar nomination for this, I riot.
He means it.
I mean it.
He will rant on Twitter. Actually, I'm not even gonna disqualify that fact. You probably will. No offense.
I might. I take no offense. Take no offense to that fact.
Roger, Roger.
But yeah, Tick Tick Boom is fantastic. Please watch it if you haven't already. It's
It's pretty excellent.
it's a pretty excellent film and is my favorite and your favorite film of 2021.
How about that? We should have done a fucking film section. I know you're a piece of shit. You didn't recommend it.
I
But you
thought
know
we
what?
could have, but it's all
Yeah.
right.
But you know what? I guess it's the surprise. It's better.
Yeah,
Funny,
yeah,
it wasn't a coin toss for me either. It was just, yeah, this is the one.
yeah. There's like this is the one. I unfortunately did miss a couple movies that I wanted to see, mainly The Harder They Fall and The Power of the Dog. I meant to
Same.
watch them, but I ended up just not.
I mean, I saw 34 movies this year, so
No, I saw more than that.
I know you said like 50.
A
One,
little more than that.
60.
I saw 64 films last year.
That's literally over half of mine.
Yeah,
I mean, no, I wrote it wrong. I'm literally half of yours.
yeah,
34, 35.
yeah. There was another film that was actually could have been on the worst list, but just barely squeaked by.
What would that be?
The Card Counter that barely squeaked by on that. He got lucky.
Well, I have many films that could have fucking gone to the worst list, but I have a really, really, really big dishonorable mentions. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like I almost
Candyman.
would have
I
put
think.
Red Notice.
Yeah. I should have put Candyman in the honorable mentions, but I think I wanted to focus on movies that I think it needed the shout out. And Candyman got a lot of
Candyman.
praise. Candyman
Oh,
got
okay.
its praise, and it made its money too. So
Yeah.
I think, for the record, I think Candyman is really, really good. I think it's a really good
Hmm.
movie. Um,
Not good enough though.
not
Couldn't
it
fit
is
in
good
the list.
enough, but it didn't make the list. And Don't
Oh,
Look Up was another one that got omitted from the honorable mentions, but uh, was very good.
my parents didn't really like that movie.
I don't really like it, but it's a good movie. It's a very
Yeah.
good movie, and it's good. I just am not the biggest fan of
Mhm.
it. One that almost made dishonorable mentions was The Matrix Resurrections.
Wow.
Um, but then I wanted to focus dishonorable mentions on films that truly disappointed me, and The Matrix Resurrections didn't disappoint me. uh, but yeah, 2021 was quite the year.
I didn't like it.
For me, this was just the year of like mediocre films. I saw a lot of just generally okay or mediocre movies.
I left the theater miserable like 10 times. So yeah, that's how I feel about this year.
Well, we'll see what 2022 brings.
Well, I'm already happy with 2022 Cobra Kai, bro.
That came out last year, didn't it? Season 4?
Season 4?
Yeah.
No, came out this year. Literally,
Did it?
well, technically this year, but I mean last year, the 31st of.
Yeah,
But
it came out last year.
every basically everyone's gonna watch it for 2022. So
But it came out last year, technically. Yeah.
okay, but shut the fuck up. How about that? Yeah.
No.
I recommend you to highly.
Mm,
That's the next movie for you to watch this year. Shut the fuck up.
shut the fuck up. Got it.
There's a song out there called that.
I'm sure there is.
Shut the fuck up. It's for Filthy. It's for Filthy Frank. So
Yeah, I know.
I miss him. He should make a movie,
He makes music now.
and he should also make what now.
Like, well, he focuses entirely on his music career.
He been making music.
No, but he's like, that's his thing. His career now. It's just music.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know. Ever since he quit in 20 something.
20 something. Yeah. I am looking forward to the movies in 2022, but there aren't too many that I'm like, yeah.
Whatever they are.
I'll just remind you when it comes out, and then we'll figure it out.
I'll catch him sometime. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I guess I can just search it up now and see what I will care for.
Well, I can
The
definitely
20
tell you my most anticipated movie of 2022 is The Batman.
Oh, yeah. I guess for me will be Across the Spider-Verse, Mission Impossible. For fuck's sake.
Black Adam.
Oh, Transformers.
That's next year. That got
Fuck's
pushed.
sake. God
I
damn
know.
it. Uh, uh, Gun Maverick.
Yeah, that's in May.
Oh, Jackass Forever. I fuck yeah. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I know you are.
Mm, I can't
Uncharted.
wait.
Uncharted. That movie's gonna be. Oh boy.
Are you excited too?
I'm excited to tear it apart.
Oh,
Unless it's good, which would be a miracle to man, unknown to man.
we
But
we shall marathon the games.
don't say that to me.
We shall play the games from first to
Do not say that to me because you know it won't happen.
well at least play the fourth. At least finish the fourth, bro. Come on. You can't get that?
Well, I guess that
Yo,
would
the Mario movie comes out next year, right? Hold on, Mario movie? That comes out next year, right?
this year.
Oh, this year, next year. I keep forgetting it's 2022.
Yeah, I
This
know,
year,
right?
next year.
Well,
Yeah.
it's only the third. Oh, well, now it's third. It was the
Yeah.
second, but now it's the third. But yeah, I guess
Fuck, man.
that would conclude our best and worst films of 2021.
Hmm.
We'll probably see. I think. Well, at least
I don't fucking know.
For a little bit,
Yeah,
we'll
I
probably be doing. Probably returning to what this show was actually initially based on, which is picking out a movie to watch and then watching it. Which we've been
yeah.
focusing on new releases, but the latter half of the latter like last few months of the year is like nothing but movie after movie after movie. There's some
Hmm.
time for these first couple of months. There's definite time to just kind of sit and pick out some different movies. But if we are gonna do a new release, it might be Scream 5, which comes out on the 14th.
Fuck.
All right. But yeah. Um, if we don't end up uploading anything else this week, well, there you go. But we'll see.
This
We'll
is the
see.
makeup, so don't complain.
Hmm?
Piece of shit.
Hmm?
This is the makeup, so this is the makeup for it, so don't
Yeah,
complain.
guess
Pieces of
so.
shit.
He's mostly talking to me there.
No, no, pieces of shit, not piece of shit.
Mm,
See, pieces is
plural.
yeah, yeah, more people. So, there you go. Unless there's more than one Gabe. Apparently, I didn't know about there being one more Gabe. Oh my god, oh no.
God help
What
us
shall we do
all.
with them? God help.
Yeah,
God help you. I don't think you will get along with yourself.
I guess not. But yeah, 2022, here we come. Please don't suck.
I'm more excited for games, movies, but movies don't seem that bad this year. I guess there's a lot that I don't really know of.
All right. Well, boom.
Later,
Later.
homos.
Okay.